really. Just a matter of perspective. What a cop-out. But I suspect you'd have a more incisive and insightful answer if we dug into it further. I don't like fanatics who give up their whole lives for their ideology. Nor do I like fools who let their delusions take control. Maybe I could understand if Renee had just been an ordinary person. But he had a sage-like intellect. And still managed to get himself lost in the labyrinth of his own desires. Anyway, that's enough about Renee. Now, moving on to Alain Guillotin, the Lord Artificer. He managed to put a stop to the first storm whipped up by Renee. But after that, Alain lost his friends and family. To his credit, I suppose, the loss of his family and friends was purely a tragic accident. It's not like Alain sacrificed them for his cause or anything. After that, the only thing supporting his work was the same dream that had dragged his closest friend down to the abyss. But although the desire to save Fontaine drove him to found the Fontaine Research Institute, Alain continued to reject any form of transcendental knowledge or power. He was suspicious and fearful of it, having seen the way it had affected his closest
One amazing
friend.
last creation of
I
his.
think that formulas and machines derived solely from human intellect were the only thing that gave him a sense of spiritual comfort. Yet Alain's intellect was simply too great. It barely left him space to breathe in his lifetime. Once he realized that the end of his life was approaching, he finally accepted the truth. The Nazissenkreuz Institute needed someone
Abyss will have to
and
be
a
either
human
off stream
being
or
to
another
see
day.
its story through to the end. He quit working on his formulas, trading them in for the fairy tales that had played such a formative role in his childhood, but which he barely touched in his adult life. He told me that the director of the Nazissenkreuz Institute used to read those fairy tales to the children as bedtime stories. Apparently, they worked wonders at sending kids off to sleep. I think that all he wanted at that time in his life was to be able to sleep deeply without being plagued by depression. By that point, nothing else really mattered. At the very end, he laid down to rest in the ruins of the former Nazissenkreuz Institute orphanage, while the Fontaine Research Institute he had founded continued tirelessly with its work.
This is like the longest
Many
monologue
years
ever.
after that, tensions over competing dreams would once again cause a rift, this time between members of the Fontaine Research Institute. But the actions of those fools had nothing at all to do with Alain. And that is the story of two people from the Nazissenkreuz Institute who both wanted to save the world. One went all in on his fantasy of salvation without ever looking back, and ended up calmly sinking to the bottom of the deepest sea. The other sought desperately to burn bright in his life, even though he wasn't sure where he was going. I do sometimes wonder, why is it that people like them have such grand hopes of saving the world? Even the grandest tree starts as a tiny seed. So perhaps, for each of them, their mission to save the world began with a very simple desire: to save themselves. They were young children with friends and family who mattered to them, desires to explore the meaning of life, ambitions to have a successful career.
I'll let her yap.
They didn't want to see all of that taken away in one fell swoop.
My headphones are starting to
Or
hurt my
maybe
head.
they just wanted to find something to anchor themselves within the chaos, to stop them getting quietly swept away by the storms of life. But instead, the search for their own salvation took them down the rocky road laid out by fate. Do you think the desire to save oneself is enough of a justification to try and save the world? Sensible answer. Glad to know you've got your head screwed on straight. Alain would disagree, though. I asked him the same question back when he was in his prime, putting all of his energy into his work. Yes, it's enough. No elaboration, just a quick, short answer before getting right back to his
that
work.
means you can get different...
He was always that way.
That means that you can get different dialogue patches for this. Because I said yes and she gave me an answer. But if I said no, it would have given me a different answer.
All right, tea time's over.
So they recorded separate
I
lines
owe
for that.
Arlecchino a favor for
That's
telling
awesome.
me these stories.
I
I'll
like
have
that
to bring
a
a
lot.
whole sack of gifts the next time I visit the House of the Hearth. I'm gonna go tinker with Polonia now. You guys can do whatever you want, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting me. Polonia, exit hibernation mode. Begin diagnostics.
So she's just perfecting her mechs. That's kind of cute. Alright, is that... That's all. That's all, guys. That's all of the Archon quest for now. I don't know it. I did level up Nefer to 90, so my Nefer is now doing her max damage. It's already done that. I probably won't stream tomorrow, but get this. I only have one. I have 60 of these. This crystal firefly thing is amazing. Got this. That was an amazing Archon quest. I know I say that about each one, but this one blew the last one out of the water. To be honest, thinking back on it, the Natlan one had a lot of... Obviously, the terrain was not very nice to anyone, because they added movement characters into the game. But this area didn't have any of that, and it was just a really, really fun and exciting and heartbreaking, and it was such a... It was so good. Like, I can't even say how happy I am that I got to finish this so early. For anyone in the future that is like, should I get back into Genshin?
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised.
This Archon quest is worth it.
I can't promise you'll like what you see.
Guide. Oh, yeah. That. And I can claim boards. 4. So now, let's see, wishes. $118 plus 15 here. And if it comes in January, which I hope Columbina's in January, I'll have 15 more from here as well. Plus, I will probably continue to get Blessing of Wilkin and log in daily. So hopefully I can get at least Columbina and her weapon, maybe some constellations on her. Because I've heard her constellations make her a menace. So, I don't know for sure because I haven't seen any footage or anything, but... stretch. It is 3:30 a.m. So, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'll have this up on YouTube probably tomorrow, or today is Friday? Thursday. Today's Friday. I'll probably have it up tomorrow, so Saturday. And then maybe Saturday, Honkai Star Rail stream. Yeah. We'll see. We will see. But that's all for now. I really appreciate you guys stopping in, both Bronze and Nako. You guys are amazing for sticking along with me. I really appreciate it. So, yeah. I wish everyone the best day and or night, depending on when you're watching this. And until next time, bye-bye.